I'm 10, your host, obviously.
Hello there and welcome back to my channel. It's been about 3 weeks since I last posted a video and I have to apologize. It has been three of the roughest weeks um, between everything that's happened. I'm just glad that, I was able to finally get some time to be able to actually, make a video. We all know that I love Star Wars. I mean, most of my videos revolves around a single Star Wars figurine that I find in a bag of goodies. I also have done other stuff, but you can probably figure out that Star Wars is my main motivation for these videos. But that's not the only sci-fi series that I enjoy. I enjoy one that always comes into debate when you talk about Star Wars. I'm talking about Star Trek. That's right, Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. You know, the whole Kirk, Spock, and in this one, Khan. Khan! The good version of Wrath of Khan, not the J.J. Abrams version. Blech. But I actually have a bunch of the movies. Hold on, I'll show you more. I have to say, this one actually has probably the most colorful cover I have of the group. And yes, while I do make fun of the J.J. Abrams, it is still Star Trek. I mean, the first one and the third one wasn't too bad. Sorry, weren't too bad. Grammatically correct. I'm sorry. Yes. The other name for this was The Crap on Khan. I really did not like this version of The Wrath of Khan. I mean, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Cumberbund here wasn't too bad, but I prefer the original series. I will have to say this one here did kind of redeem the trilogy out there. I actually love the when they brought back the NX series. You know, the one that you find in Enterprise with Jonathan Archer. I actually do like those ships. In fact, one of my favorite ship styles is the Miranda class, which I believe is based off of the Swarvek class. I'm not 100% sure. But yes, I have movies. These aren't the only things I have. I have a lot of books. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find them. And I actually do have more movies, but they are on VHS. And again, I wasn't able to find them for this. But what I do have is something from Hot Wheels. This is the NCC 1701 Enterprise. This is a 2013 version. I believe this is I want to say Into Darkness or Beyond. I'm not 100% sure. Hold on. So this one is from Into Darkness. This one was made in 2013. So this has got to be it. And it's, you can see the Enterprise here. Battle damaged. You can see the lighting isn't that good. I apologize. But you know, it's actually not a bad model. It's even got a little taste of what it's out here is. I love how they call it born instead of manufactured. I mean, I guess the ships do kind of have their own personality. Personally, I actually like the characters from Voyager. Not Voyager, Next Generation. My two favorite characters so far are Geordi and Data, and my favorite story arc is Voyager. I love the fact that they're thrown light years from Earth, and it will take them like, what, 70 plus years to get back to Earth, going at warp what is it, 9.9 or something like that. So it'll take them a lot longer. And then they finally go home through some kind of wormhole thing that the Borg were controlling. But that's not the only tat I have from Star Trek. I actually have, yes, pop figurines. I have from Beyond, the third one in the series. You have your Captain Kirk here with his phaser. And this is 347 of the series. As you can see, you can get a bunch of different ones. My favorite character from the original series, by the way, is Bones. I've always liked the fact that he's just one of those reluctant characters. And one of the books I had actually pivoted around Bones, where he was living both in the present time with Kirk and them, and then somehow he was transported into the past at the same time, and he was living a double life between the two, and then his character in the past finally died. I think it was during World War II, during that time frame. He was killed by some kind of German pilot, if I remember correctly in the book. Good book. I gotta find the name for it. But there you have it. Captain Kirk. I also have Sulu, number 350. Also with his phaser. And Chekhov. Sad part about him, the actor who played him unfortunately was killed in a freak car accident. If I read correctly, the park and brake didn't engage properly, and he saved his brother, but unfortunately was crushed by the car. But, you're not here for the pop figurines. You're asking yourself, do you have any of the action figures? And yes, I do. I only have 3 because that's all I've been able to get my hands on. I did have more at one point, but unfortunately, various moves and all that, I've pretty much lost them. But I have Worf in what appears to be Klingon battle gear. I love the horns on his shoes. I think this is an alternative coloring, because the one that I've seen online shows him with black pants, but it's definitely Worf. He's the only black Klingon that I've seen. Almost every other Klingon is like a white guy. Funny part about him is I actually got him free when Blockbuster was closing down. They had like a little box near the entrance with a bunch of stuff that you can grab for free, and he happened to be in this little plastic bag, and I'm like, ooh, Worf, mine. So he's now mine. I will say I like the detail, and he's the only Next Generation figurine I have. There you have it. I do have 2 more. I have Benjamin Sisko from Deep Space Nine, the no-nonsense commander of the Defiant and of the space station. This is the pre-Dominion War variation of the Deep Space Nine uniforms, before they started switching over with the normal gray tops with the colored collars to hide the commanding officers to prevent them from dying, if I read the lore correctly. It's still in variation to what the Enterprise people would wear, where they had mainly black tops with red, blue, or yellow rest of the shirts, and black pants. I have to say, I do like these uniforms better than the other ones. I like the more somber look to them, the more militarized look. But I will have to say my favorite uniforms by far were the ones where the tops were completely gray and they had just the colored collars of their positions of office. If I remember correctly, red in the Next Generation series and above were command officers. Yellow was what? Security and such, engineering. And green, the bluish green was sciencey, like medical and science officers. But yeah, I like the detail on this. He's really good detailed. Again, it's an official Playmates one. I noticed that the articulation on these guys is completely different than the Star Wars. These guys actually have thighs that fully rotate. Their legs do a weird split, but when you put them down, it looks almost normal. They have rotating shoulders, not shoulders, upper arms. Their shoulders do rotate. They don't have any wrist articulation, but they do have an elbow. And yes, their heads and waists do rotate. They can't have very many back leg positions either. And the last figurine I actually have is my personal favorite from the series, Jadzia Dax. Now, she's a Trill, which means she is some kind of alien with a symbiote in them, and they're normally marked by some kind of purplish spots all over their bodies, mainly their faces and their backs, and I believe their legs too had it. But if you notice, this particular Jadzia Dax doesn't have that. She's actually in the older uniform that you would actually associate with Kirk. That's because this particular one is the Trouble with Tribbles episode 1, where they go back in time and they deal with the Tribbles. Some kind of Klingon went back in time, tried to sabotage and blow up the space station that Kirk and his crew was on. And this is also where we discovered that the Klingons of the past look completely different than the Klingons from the future. It was some kind of humanizing virus or something. And Worf's comment simply was, "I don't want to talk about it." But I actually like Jadzia Dax. I really hated the fact that they killed her off in the series, especially because she married my man Worf here. I thought they were an awesome couple. And I actually have to say, I love the detail on this. From the short skirt and all that. It really looks very much akin to the original uniforms that Uhura and them wore. But like I said, you can't see that she has any markings on her because she's disguising her fact that she's a Trill. If I remember correctly, she actually made a comment that she was alive during that time frame. At least the Drax symbiote was. Was it Drax or Dax? Dax. D-A-X. Sorry. The Dax symbiote was alive at the time, and she was a man. But again, Playmate toys. I actually love the logo here, the comm badge. It's still a little bit different than that one. I prefer that one over the one with the little metal loop on it. But these are my 3 figurines that I have. I want to get more, it's just I've not been able to. I have to realize he's actually so much taller than these two. I am a Klingon. That is all you need to know. I'm your commanding officer. And I'm your wife. Yes, I know she doesn't sound that way. Happy couple. Anyways, thank you for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit shorter than my normal videos, but I don't really have that many Star Trek stuff. Well, if I don't post another video before Christmas, I will have to say Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Festivus, Happy Kwanzaa, and what other holiday you celebrate during this time frame. Have a great one. Until then, live long and prosper.